Hey everybody, it's Target again with Rogue Patriots Paintball, here to do my second video on the Retevis Ailunce HD1 GPS handheld radio. This one's going to be all about how to program using the front keypad. Now, a lot of radios out there can be programmed from the front keypad, however, most of the settings are not available. On this radio, I'd say probably about 90 to 95% of the settings available for programming can be done through directly through the front keypad. A computer would be much easier for the most part. However, you got to have a computer with you, and if you're in a situation where you can't do that or you got to make a last-minute change, this is definitely not too terribly hard to do. So I'm just going to walk you through. We're going to set up an analog and a digital channel, name it, set up some preferences for those channels, and that's pretty much it. First thing you want to do is make sure you're in VFO mode, or variable frequency operation. That's where the frequency is listed on your display, so that way you can type numbers directly into the keypad. So to change between VFO, or variable frequency operation mode, and your channel name mode, depending on what you're on, you need to be in that variable frequency operation mode to program the channel. So here we're on the Bravo channel. I need to hit the exit key as a short press, and that takes us into variable frequency operation mode, or VFO mode. So I'm going to go ahead and type in just a random number. I'm not going to pick any specific frequency. This is just for the purpose of illustration. So I'm going to do 441, 755. We're currently on 446. Okay, so 441, 755. So that was pretty easy. Just type directly in. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to run through some of the remaining items that we want to set up for this channel in the menus. So I'm going to hit the menu button and go to our main. And of course you got squelch, that's not going to affect on digital. Save is your power saving features. Voice, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. That's now you'll no longer hear these radio prompt voices. Vox, hang up, that really is more for digital and repeater channels. Transmission channel, key define. So let's go over key define real quick. There are two buttons on the side of the radio, and I'll put up a picture of those. There are actually three buttons, but one is the push to talk button. The two other buttons can be set with a short and a long press each for a total of up to 4 functions throughout those two buttons. So just to show you, right now, if we go into key define, we hit menu, key 1, and you can actually cycle through using the arrow keys or the top dial key. But I'm going to go through and, key 1, you can set it for power, turn your scan on, radio, a whole bunch of functions, wake up, relay, key call for some of the message sending functions. I'm just going to go ahead and set it for power. And then I'm going to say confirm, and that's done on that. And of course, once later on, well actually let's just go ahead and show that to you. I'm going to hit key 1 after I exit. And you can see power was actually cycling through. Let me do that one more time. You can see under the frequency of 441, 755 that when I'm hitting this top short press button, I'm going from low to mid to high power. So that's just one of the options, and I expect more to be implemented into the radio as we go on for these short and long press kind of shortcut buttons there on the side. All right, so let's move back into the menu and back in the main set here. Backlight, so backlight continuous, I have that for video purposes, but you'd probably want to turn it to like 30 or 60 seconds. You can change that, And I'll take it all the way back. There we go. So beep, key lock, channel mode, whether or not you want to see your frequency, the channel number, or the actual name that you're programming for the channel. Typically, I'm going to use the name because that's just easier to remember when you have a name there defining what your channel is that you've programmed in. So, your scan mode, and there's the time operation, carrier operation, and the SC, I forget what it is, but just different types of scan modes, channels that are added into your scan list. The time operation will stop when it hears a carrier or a signal coming in, pause for 5 seconds, and then move on. Carrier operation will stop, and until the carrier or the traffic on that channel has stopped for a certain period, then it will move on. But it'll stay and listen to that conversation. The SE, I will have to double check and see what that one is. Let's just back out of that, go down to more. So save channel. This is where you're just going to save your channel. So we're going to go ahead and hit menu. And one of the things that isn't in here right now, it doesn't show you the names of the channels. So how do you know if you're overwriting a current channel? Well, pretty much if there's a CH in front of it, that means that it's already saved as a channel, or there's already a channel in that memory preset, so you don't want to erase that. So you want to move the dial or the arrow keys until you get to one that does not have the CH in front of it. So we'll go to 9 there, and I'm going to hit confirm. Now it's going to ask us for a name. It's kind of like the old T9 texting on your cell phone a little bit. I'm just going to call this test, and just program that. Oh, it's a little weird. So if you're one of those speed testers, that's texters, excuse me, that's you know, you might have to slow down a little bit for something like this. I'm going to go ahead and hit menu to confirm, save channel, yes. So now our channel's saved. Awesome. If you wanted to delete the channel for some reason, you can use that function. Roger beep. Set the time, which usually is set by the computer, but if you're not using a computer and the battery has been removed or something like that, you can set that. You eliminate voice tail, and then we're back to the top at squelch. So I'm going to exit out of this, and our channel is set. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch back over to our frequency mode, VFO mode, and hit the exit key once to take us back to channel mode. So you can see we're currently on Bravo channel, which was already pre-programmed by myself. So I'm just going to move along to what our position 9 was, or until we hit test. So there's our test channel. And that is channel 9, and that's in zone 1. And I won't get into zones on this menu, but you can also set those up. I'm not sure 100% if you could set that up. I think you can on the keypad. All right, moving along. I'm going to go back into the menu. I'm going to go to band A, because that's what we're working with, band alpha. And there you go, there's our zone, and you can do all channels or if there's a zone set up. I'm just going to leave that set up there. GPS settings, on or off. I'm going to turn those on. I'm going to do another video describing what you can do with the GPS right now. Your step, power, and that's actually power saving. I'm sorry, not power saving, power of the frequency for transmission, Vox level, wide or narrow band, timeout, a bunch of features that don't apply to using simplex mode for something like I'd be doing. So there's your color code. You could change your color code to whatever the color code that you should be using is for your settings for DMR. So on and so forth, DMR mode, simplex, because I'm using simplex and not repeaters or dual slot. Your radio ID, contacts, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go back to the menu, and since we made some adjustments, I'm going to go ahead and save those changes. So I'm going to go to our main set here, and I'm just going to go back up from the bottom, delete channel, save channel, confirm. It's channel 9, the one we just did. We just are altering it. Confirm, confirm, yes, save channel, and we're good to go. So we'll turn off the radio. I'm going to power it back up, and you can see that our channel, all the other ones are still in there, and our test channel is still there. Now this process is pretty much the same thing for an analog channel, except for you'd want to change it to analog mode. So we're going to go ahead and go to VFO, or frequency mode, by hitting the exit key once. Now you can see we're in high power and we're in digital DMR. To change that, we're going to long press the exit key, and now you can see it's high power and it's wideband FM, and that's our analog mode. And we would do the same thing. So I'm going to just type in a random number here, 146550, and there are a couple of different features only available to analog. So if we go to our main set here, squelch will affect. So squelch is kind of midway up almost. Power saving, all the same stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and say save channel. And again, I want to go to one without a CH in front of it, so I'm going 10. Channel name, I'm just going to type in analog. Okay, that's not working. Sometimes it's a little tough. All right, so we got our analog. We're just calling it that for reference. And I'm going to hit confirm, save channel, confirm yes, and there we go. Now I'm going to back out, and I'm going to go down to our main set A, which is the bank we're in there. And zone is not going to apply, but what I'm going to do is go down to C-CDC. That's basically your analog digital privacy codes. So we hit confirm. It's going to say off. And I believe somebody told me you could hit the pound key or the star key. Yeah, star key to turn it on and just cycle through. So you hit that star key and you can go through and select what you want, like frequency. It's going to be an analog code. And we just change it to whatever the specific frequency assigned is. There is a lookup table online, so you can compare what frequency is what for the analog privacy codes and the digital privacy codes. So anyway, you set that to whatever you want, confirm. And then I'm going to go back up to my main set and save channel. And we want it on 10. That's the one we just saved. Confirm, confirm, save channel. And there you have it. Now I'm going to move back over by hitting the exit key, short press. We're on that test channel. As you can see, it's a digital channel. If I move to the next channel 10, that is analog, the one we just programmed. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much how easy it is to program these channels. And I will see you next time.